Hello and welcome to the Daily Mill for Tuesday the 29th of March 2022. In today's Millwall news, we have this story from news@den.co.uk and it's about Jed Wallace, Millwall attacker, and why he won't be too disappointed if he has to rearrange his wedding party. Jed Wallace won't mind too much if he has to cancel his pre-wedding party at the end of May, because it will mean Millwall would have reached the end of the season tournament final. Wallace, who turned 28 last Saturday, is getting married in June, and the celebrations will kick off the previous month with a do in Surrey. The date for that is May 28, the day before the championship decided at Wembley for the final place in the 2022-23 Premier League season. Millwall are 4 points off the end of season tournament places with 8 games left this season. 4 of those fixtures are at the Den. Wallace was part of the side that won promotion to the Championship with their 1-0 win over Bradford at Wembley in 2017. If he is to make another visit to the stadium in May, then he and his partner will have plenty of rearranging to do. I'm getting married in Spain in June, but before that we've got a party in England the day before the final. So if we get to the final, it can't happen, Wallace told News-a-Den. We're having a party in Surrey and then flying over to Spain. My missus grew up in Spain, so it'll be 3 or 4 days, which will be nice after. It's a risk worth taking, to be honest. It's a weird one, but if we have to miss it for the playoff final, I'll take that all day long. So will my missus. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity. If there is a time to miss a wedding party, it's definitely for the final for the Premier League. It's something I wouldn't mind doing. Those bookings probably look safe enough in January when Millwall were 11 points off 6 after 3 successive league defeats. The Lions were 8 points off the end of season tournament places after their 3-0 defeat to Fulham the following month, and they were struggling to find form with just one win in 6 games. They also had a number of players out through injury, particularly in attack, including Wallace, and were off the back of a disruption when several players were unavailable over the winter following positive COVID-19 tests. But 6 wins and 2 draws in the last 9 games have brought them right back into the mix. Probably towards the end of January, you would have said we had no chance, Wallace said. Is that when he booked it then? But then typically, of the core group of players at Millwall and also of the club as a whole, backs against the wall, we had nowhere else to go really, only to come out swinging. That's in the DNA of the club. We put together a great run and given ourselves a small opportunity. We just have to see what happens. There are teams above us and that have vastly superior squads to ours. Double our attendance is much bigger clubs. But Millwall's always thrive when it's the underdog. That's the mentality of the club. That's the way it's been since I've been here, and that's what it's like at the moment. So who knows what could happen. Millwall lost 4 games in a row at the start of the year, including FA Cup third round defeat against Crystal Palace, but managed to go out or the players were never going to press the panic button. The gaffer is pretty consistent with how he is day to day, Wallace said. He's experienced in the Championship, he knows what he's doing. He also knew we had players coming back from injury. To be fair, we actually weren't playing that badly. That's probably the worst thing about it. When you think you're doing alright but you're losing, that's not good. A couple of games recently we've not played well and won. Ultimately, that's what it's all about. The gaffer ain't gonna panic, and we've got a group of experienced players. You look right down our squad, we've got senior pros everywhere that played a lot of games in the Championship and a lot for Millwall. There's myself, there's Bart, there's Hutchie, there's Coops, Muzza. We all played well over 100 games for Millwall. We all know what it is to be a good Millwall player and a good Millwall team. At the moment we do look decent. It's just those little fine lines with a team like us. A goal either way from a corner can mean 0 points or 3 points. Unfortunately, we just finished on the wrong side of that at a weekend. Millwall have been here before. They went on to the last international break of the season in 2017-18, also 4 points off of 6th place. Neil Harris's side were unbeaten in 12 and had won 6 league games in a row away from home. But 5 of their last 8 games were then against teams above them in the table, and they eventually fell short with 2 matches to go. Wallace knows that on paper the fixture list this time doesn't look as difficult, but he has a note of caution. Under Neil, we were in the playoff race going into this break, but we knew we had a really tough run in, Wallace said. Whereas this year our running does look favourable, but I think any real Millwall fan would tell you we've just got as much chance of losing to Barnsley and Peterborough at home as we have of losing to Bournemouth or Fulham. You only have to look at Barnsley's recent results. They drew, I think, against Fulham. They were better team against Sheffield United first half. These teams have a lot to play for, as do we, so we go into it knowing what to expect. If we can play as well as we did against Huddersfield, we'll be fine. Hutchie said it a few months ago. He hit the nail on the head apart from the Fulham game. Every single game is a 50-50 game. Huddersfield's 17 unbeaten and they come to the Den and we beat them. We go to Stoke, who hadn't won in 8, and lose, and that just sums up this league, really. We're looking forward to it. It's a good position to be in. We've got nothing to lose. There are plenty of big clubs above us, but we'll try and sneak in and see what happens. If not, but we finish in the top 10 enough, then I think we've had another great season. Millwall's players are being asked more about their top 6 chances, but understandably cautious not to hype it. Daniel Ballard, though, told News of them recently that there's an opportunity to grasp, as they don't know when they will be in this position again. Ballard was in the Blackpool side that defeated Lincoln City 2-1 in last year's League One playoff final. It's a group of players that always respond well to when we just go out and play football, give it 100% and not too much pressure on ourselves, Wallace said. Dan Ballard is a great young player, had a promotion campaign last year with Blackpool and he'll be hungry to do the same. It's completely fair enough. The senior players are in the dressing room and just like trying to keep everyone calm. One thing you know with us, we're never going to fall short on effort. People like Muzza, Keefton Bell, Benno, Bradders, they give their all every day, so we're not going to fall short on effort. Whether we fall short on a set play here or there's a little bit of quality here or there, that's probably what's going to cost us. But we won't fall short on trying, and we'll see where we end up. Sounds like he's on a massive downer. No, that's probably what's going to cost us. So negative thinking there already. Like, why are you talking about losing already? Not only that, why are you booking a fucking party on the day of the championship end of season tournament final? Like, seriously. Literally, like, you had enough sense to book your wedding in June, so you couldn't do it the week after. Maybe the week after, isn't that the fucking massive Jubilee week? So maybe they didn't want to do it then. The Jubilee bank holiday weekend, I think, is the week after the 28th of May. I think it is. So maybe they didn't want to show that. Maybe they didn't want to conflict with that because a lot of people would be away. But I mean, seriously, come on, man. This is the massively negative here. That's probably what's going to cost us. Is he a fucking time traveler? Has he got a crystal ball? Like, and here's the thing, he's talking about there are bigger clubs above us. I tell you what, there's one club above us called Luton fucking Town. They ain't fucking bigger than us. They really aren't. They're a tiny club playing in an old wooden stadium that barely holds 11,000. What did they win the FA Cup once? They got to the final once, so we got to the final once. We played in fucking Europe. So what? We've been to the playoff finals. We've done all sorts. Luton Town ain't bigger than us. Don't worry about what's going to cost us down the line. Worry about this fucking game this Saturday, Luton Town away. Because here's the thing, they're 6 points above us, in third place. We need to win this fucking game, and then it'll be 3 points gap between us. And that's all you need to fucking worry about, Jed Wallace, is this fucking game on Saturday the 2nd of April. That's it. That's it. Just worry about this game this Saturday. Because we need to win this game. Not draw it. If we draw it, yeah, you can kick the can down the road. But here's the thing. The road's getting shorter and shorter. After this game, we've got 7 games left. And if we lose this game, it's good night Vienna. It's done. We're done. We need to win this game. If we lose this game, 100% it's done. we ain't doing anything this at the end of the season. It's done. Book your holidays if we lose this game. Carry on. Seriously, because it's done. Anyway, moving on now to this. Now this popped up. Now this website is called EFL Analysis, and they've been putting out a few things over the season, and I'm not really been bothered to put it on the channel and show you guys what they're saying, because it's quite in-depth stats and it's quite obtuse, to be honest with you. You don't really see the wood for the trees. But this is a nice short one. So they're having a look at Benik Afobe in the 21-22 EFL Championship, and there's a map of shots by Benik Afobe. Does like a nice close-up shot. The green ones are goals, the orange ones are off target, the red ones are saved, and the bigger they are, the better the chance was expected, the XG was. So there you have it. There you have it. Yeah, he generally scores more in the center of the area, and when he shoots on the left, they generally get saved. And when he shoots, he doesn't really shoot from the right hand wing. That's probably because he's trying to get on balls from Jed Wallace or Danny McNamara, so he's pushed off into the center of the area probably. So he usually shoots from the center of the area or the left hand side. So there's that. Mill have been overperforming in the 21-22 EFL Championship. The main reason for this overperformance has been their defence, which has outperformed its XG. Yes, our defence, as I showed you in a scatter graphics video a couple of days ago, there's 7 people that watched it. You'll know all about that. However, goals win your games, and in this article we will be covering Mill's main man for goals, Benik Afobe. Having joined on loan from Stoke City this season, he has been a top goal scorer for Millwall with 8 goals to his name. He has not hit double figures for goals since the 2014-15 season, when he was playing for Wolverhampton Wanderers. So there's a little end of season target for Benik Afobe, which might help us out. Get another couple of goals to get yourself above into double figures. How about doing that, mate? So attacking and creativity. So here you go. Now this line that's the green line that's travelling down the thing is the league average. So the league average is your basic bog standard championship strikers that are league average. He's above average for a lot of things. Shots on target is the best one, 87%. Touches in opposition penalty box per 90, 78%. What he's down on is dribbles. He's not really one to pick up the ball and run with it. Offensive duels per 90, he's below average on that. Offensive duels 1, and attacking actions per 90, whatever that is. So there you go. And then we have on the right hand side some kind of value. He scores 0.29 goals per 90 minutes. His XG is 0.28 per 90 minutes played. He has 1.8, so basically 2 shots per 90 minutes. Which that's not going to get you many goals if you only have 2 shots per game, is it? And his XG on that shot is just 0.149. Well, if you want to read more of that, you can pause it and have a look. We're going to move on. As you can see from the above chart, Benik Afobe has performed above average in several categories, but he is nowhere near close to the best marksman in the league. For instance, the Congolese has netted 0.29 goals per game, which is nearly 1 goal in 4 games. Which is a lot better than 1 goal in 10 games, which was the kind of average for Matt Smith. And it's a lot better than 1 goal in 36 games, which was the Bodvarsson average. So it is an improvement. whereas the best performers regularly get above 0.5 goals per game. And that's the difference. We need to get us one of them, because that'll get us up the league in the top 2 places. He has also taken less than 2 shots per game, which is not all enough if you are to hit 20 goals a season or at least 15 strikes exactly, because you're playing percentages. If you only have 2 shots per game, let's say you get one of them on target, most you're going to score is 1, but realistically, but to give him some credit, he does hit 49% of his shots on target. Afobe just needs to do it more frequently for Millwall. So yeah, good quality, just not enough output, not enough productivity. All but one of Benik Afobe's goals for Millwall this season has come from inside the box. He's taken 11 shots from outside the box this season, so he does have the ability to get into dangerous positions. He has missed a few big chances which had an XG of over 0.35, but most of his shots have tested the opposition keepers. Afobe has taken 7 shots so far this season, which means he is scoring 1 goal every 7 shots. So 57 shots so far this season. They say 8 goals, so yeah, 1 goal every 7 shots. Oh yeah, that's the other thing that they just mentioned there. So the orange ones, obviously, the bigger the circle, the better chance, and because they're color coded, so the 2 biggest ones seem to be green. So he's hit the best quality chances, he puts them away, but the kind of lesser average ones he doesn't really do that well with. And there's a green one just outside the box that he scored, so he's made something out of that, because that's not a very good chance there. And moving on, so this one here, I'm kind of confused about this. I'm not really sure what the fuck this is. It looks like a broken clock. Benik Afobe pass sonar. Bing, bing. Isn't a sonar thing in submarines? XT time. XT. Now what is XT? Expected threat. So how much of an attacking threat you are, and you can see in this pass start locations in the bottom right. The darker the green circle is where he picks up the ball and passes it. So, like I said, in the right hand side of the box, he seems to be laying it back to either Jed Wallace or someone else. Then he runs into the box to get on the end of it. That's why he doesn't really shoot from this. He's probably got his back to goal on the right hand side of the opposition area. He's got his back to goal. He can't shoot from there, so he lays it off to Jed Wallace and gets in the box and cracks on there. And he also from the left hand post by the touchline. He's heavily involved there. So there you go. I don't know what this one on the left hand side is, where the line's straight up. No idea what that does. Let's see if they tell us. In the above chart, we can see that Benik Afobe has rarely created a threat for Millwall this season, but his role is to just finish off the chances his teammates create for him. Hence the low XT value. But he does create threats when it counts the most. His highest XT values come just before half time and out of death. His XT map shows that he does not create much with the ball except when he is in and around the opposition's penalty box. So yeah, like little layoffs and stuff like that, flick-ons, headers. He does that kind of thing. He doesn't, like I said, he doesn't dribble with the ball, so he's not really one to pick up the ball and charge forward. That's more of a Mason Bennett style. Benik Afobe needs to fire a lot more frequently if Mill are to finish the season strong. Mathematically, Mill still have a chance to compete in a promotion plus, but for that they need to have a strong attack. We need to have a better. Is that we need to go back to the attack that we had at the start of the season, because our attack has kind of faded as the season has gone along. And Afobe will need to shoulder the responsibility of scoring the goals. Indeed. So that was it. That's a nice little short one there. That's why I brought you that. I just want to share this again. EFLanalysis.com. They do massive report after Millwall games. It's just pages and pages of stuff which I didn't want to really bring you. because it's kind of boring, to be honest here. So you can see here where the spikes are, top right hand side. At the end of the first half and at the end of the game, that's when he moves his arse and gets his arse in gear and starts going at the goals. So indeed, fantastic. So what does XT mean? Well, I'm just gonna scroll through this. What it basically means, as I just scroll down on this page, what it basically means. So you have XG. That's basically when someone has a shot at goal. The quality of the chance gives it a value, like where it is on the pitch. If it's a penalty, it's IXG. Is it a long shot? Is it a close-up one? Are there any players blocking the path of the goal? That kind of thing. And obviously you got your assists, but XT. So here's the thing. Let's say Jed Wallace bombs down the right hand side. Amazing little bit of jiggery pokery. He basically sets up the goal. He crosses over to Benik Afobe, misses Benik Afobe, but it goes through the other side to Scott Malone. Scott Malone picks it up, lays it off to Benik Afobe, and Benik Afobe whacks it in a goal. Now, when you look at that statistically, Benik Afobe's got a goal. He's got an XG rating on his name, and Scott Malone's got an assist, and that's as far as the stats tell you. Stats don't tell you Jed Wallace basically made that goal with a brilliant bit of skill running down the right hand wing. Now the video does, if you watch the video, the crowd do. The match report, if you read the match report, it might tell you that. The match rating of the player that you get on websites like Who Scored. They'll give him Jed Wallace marks for that, and he'll end up getting like a 7 out of 10 or 8 out of 10 or something like that. But what they sometimes do is they spread the XG along the players who are involved. So let's say Saville tackles a player, lays it out to Jed Wallace, who goes on that run, and then does what we just said, where he flicks out to Scott Malone and lays it off to Benik Afobe, and Benik Afobe scores. So what they would do, they would take the XG of the chance that Benik Afobe put away, and they would spread that out equally among all the players involved. So they would spread it out between Afobe, Malone, Wallace and Saville, because they're the ones involved in the attacking transition. So they would spread the XG among them, and then they could do that for every goal, and you'll see who gets involved in the most actions moving forward, not just the ones who put the balls in the goal and the assists. So you can then, when you get that data, you can fuck around with it on a computer, like you've seen here. Look at this fucking mathematical equations here about all this shit. Mathematical fucking equations. Can you believe this shit? But what they're saying here is there's a thing called XT. What I really don't know what that kind of is, but basically it's what I said is they would give a mark to Jed Wallace for that little run down the wing, rather than just giving an XG to Afobe and an assist to Malone. So that's what XT is, basically. They look at the whole move from picking up the ball, going forward and scoring a goal, and then they spread out who did what. So let's say the goal is 1, then they'll spread it out. So they'll give Benik Afobe probably 0.2, give Scott Malone probably 0.1 because he just had to do a simple sideways pass to Afobe. They'll give Jed Wallace probably 0.6, and then they'll give the rest to Saville because he intercepted it and saw the pass to Jed Wallace, send him on his way. So that's what they do. They take the XG and they spread it up all the way down the chain. But in terms of who did what, not equally, which they have been doing before. So someone come up with this XD thing, and I've just scrolled down. Just if you want to pause it and a look at it, you can do that. This is from a thing called karun.in blog, expected threat, and yeah, just wanted to share that with you about XT in terms of Benik Afobe's XT, because that didn't really kind of a bit of a crazy concept there, but that's what this is here, this broken clock. Kind of weird, but there you go. Moving on now, leaving all that behind, to this sad news. This sad picture popped up on Twitter, retweeted by Millwall, and this was taken at 1:17 in the afternoon, I assume, because the time is on the monitor on the left hand side. 2 thumbs up from Tyrese Briscoe. Thankful to God that surgery went well. Thanks to the Fortius medical team, Simon Ball, for the operation. Fully focused on recovery with Millwall FC, and I will be back stronger. Yeah, I don't. So he got an injury, obviously, and he's had surgery. So hopefully that goes well, and hopefully the rehab or recovery goes even better. So good luck to the lad. Obviously not the best of things to be happening to you when you're a footballer. So there you go. Yeah, quite sad news. Moving on now to this. This is from whoscored.com, and we have 2 more international Lion caps. So Northern Ireland played Hungary at Windsor Park in Belfast, and they lost 1-0. And so Danny Ballard started the game. He played 82 minutes, got subbed off. Hopefully, I think that was tactical. I've read the match report. There's nothing in there about an injury. And George Saville, who played the 90 minutes in the game against Luxembourg the other day, came on and played for Stephen Davis, because I think so he could get a round of applause, because he's played, like, he's broke into the top 10 of all time, I think, in terms of caps. So I think he got subbed off, so you get a little round of applause. And George Saville come on for the last 30 minutes, so you got 2 more international Lions there, caps for Millwall players. So interesting stuff. Yeah, and there you have it. And they are playing in June, I believe. In June they have their UEFA Nations League games. They've got like 4 and 10 days coming up in June, so that will be interesting. And yeah, so that happened today in Millwall news. And on that note, I would like to thank you for watching this video and wish you goodbye.